Fire breaks out on controversial tanker at a Turkish scrapyard. This is from the Maritime Executive, and it was published on July the 4th, 2025. A supertanker, which for many years has been used as a storage platform off Libya, is once again causing controversy after a fire broke out on board the vessel. The tanker, known as Sloth 251,500 DWT, is at a Turkish yard being dismantled. A fire call was issued at 11 a.m. on July the 3rd. Reports indicate that the partially dismantled tanker was evacuated without injury, but due to concerns, other parts of the yard were also evacuated as the black smoke billowed from the hulk. Local fire departments responded with units from land, and 6 fireboats were also brought in for an effort to contain the fire and cool the hull. Reports indicate aerial firefighting was not being permitted for fears of explosions from the tanker. The fire continued to burn through the night, with reports suggesting it could take days to fully control the inferno. It is the latest in a series of controversies around the tanker, which was built in Italy in 1973. She was in commercial service for 16 years, but in 1989 was converted to a floating storage off Libya. She was decommissioned in 2017. It was said that the vessel, which is 349 meters or 1,145 feet in length, had become unstable, with some reports suggesting she was structurally compromised. Turkish interests reportedly acquired the vessel for dismantling, but before they could retrieve her, she went to Egypt. There she was met by environmental protests and forced to leave the country. She finally arrived in Turkey in February of 2023, but additional protests followed. Environmentalists claimed the ship had been used to store waste, and they said there was as much as 6,000 tons of chemical waste still on board. The recyclers responded by saying that was not correct. She was an oil storage unit. The former owner claimed that the tanks had not been vented and there could be a buildup of dangerous vapors. They estimated there was 50 tons of residue oil still in the vessel. The Turkish Minister of Environment responded to questions, saying that it had inspected the vessel. It contended there was no large quantities of hazardous materials on board other than the essential parts. Pictures show that the forward section of the vessel has already been removed, and large portions of the vessel appeared open. The stern section is still largely intact. However, the concerns over possible residues aboard and dangerous vapors were limiting the firefighting efforts to ensure the crews remain safe and away from any possible explosions.